Now can you hear me? No? I thought maybe I was muted. What? Oh. Okay. Let's start this over. Hello, my name is Jessie, and I am with the Glencoe Public Library. Welcome to Self-Care Sunday for June. Um, Clearly, as usual, I had some technical difficulties and was giving a whole opening monologue that no one could hear. But that's okay. So, as I was saying, we're going to get started today by talking a little bit about essential oils. Maybe you know all about essential oils, maybe you've never heard of them, and you're curious to find out what the deal is. So today I am going to talk you through sort of a beginner's understanding of essential oils. If you follow the link in our bottom right corner of the screen, I'm realizing there's an extra period in it after the li, but it's bit.ly/scs packets. You will find what I have printed out right here, which is our packet for the week. Every week we have or month I suppose, we have a packet that goes along with the video that's got some additional resources and information, and so if you can see upside down, a beginner's guide to essential oils, this is what's in the packet. So to start with, here is my little assortment of essential oils here. I bought all of these together in kind of a package deal. A lot of times that's the way to get the best price on essential oils is to get something like this that's got multiples in there. You can probably tell that this one is from a different set. But I've just got some basic scents here. I've got my lavender, I've got rosemary, rose, let's see, sweet orange, lemongrass, eucalyptus, peppermint, and frankincense. So that gives you kind of an idea of what you might get in a sample set like this one. Of course, each one is different, and depending on where you shop, you'll find different things. You can also buy these individually. Like I have this one here that I want to say I got at a drugstore. This one's actually a mix of a variety of citrus fruit essential oils. So, to get down to it, what is an essential oil? Essentially, um, what an essential oil is it's part of a plant that is taken and liquefied. So it might be part of a flower, it might be part of a tree, it might be an herb, and you take that part of it and crush it and squeeze it into an oil. And what you end up with is this really concentrated scent of whatever it is that you have the essential oil of. I read somewhere it takes like 200 pounds of lavender to make 1 pound of lavender essential oil. So there you go. That's how they end up being like so potent. And why a lot of the times when you're using these, you're going to want to dilute them some. We'll talk about that a little more. But so what is the purpose of having these in your home? So first of all, they just smell really nice. I used to use a lot of scented candles, and now I have cats in the house, and I can't trust them not to knock the scented candles over and burn the entire house down. So essential oils are a good alternative for making like a nice smelling room. But also there's some scientific evidence, there's some studies that I found that talk about how certain essential oils can help relieve stress and anxiety, and the way they do that is the molecules in the essential oils basically go to the parts of your brain that cause stress and anxiety and tell them to chill out. It's a very highly scientific explanation for you there. But there's a list on our packet here of some essential oils that have been shown to relieve anxiety and stress. We've got lavender, yuzu, which is a type of citrus fruit found in Asia, bergamot, yang, I don't know how to pronounce this one, ylang ylang. Nope, that was probably hopelessly wrong. I'm so sorry. Clary, sage, and jasmine are the ones that I have listed here, but obviously there's a million more kinds of essential oils, like the ones I named. Other than lavender, I don't have any of them in this set. These are all totally different ones that have, different supposed effects. Aromatherapy is tricky because it's easy to fall into. Um, there are a lot of claims about essential oils and aromatherapy, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's relieving symptoms of medical conditions using scent. And again, like I said, there's some evidence for anxiety and stress relief coming from these things, but they don't cure cancer or anything. um, there are some folks out there who make some extraordinary claims about what you can do with essential oils, but you're all smart people out there watching this library stream, and you can critically handle information. I have faith in you. So, let's say you've got your essential oils, and you're like, well, now what do I do with them? I've got this whole box. It smells very potent when I open it because it's got all these different scents in there, but what do I even do with these things? And there's a whole bunch of options. So you can see here this is one of my favorites. It's a little necklace that I found online, and it's a locket style. So when you open it up, open it from this side, inside there's a little piece of felt or wool, and what you can do is you can just drop a couple drops of essential oil. Like I said, these are real powerful, real potent, um, just onto the fabric here, and then you put it inside the necklace. There we go. That was like 3 drops. That's plenty. And you can wear the necklace, and all day long you will smell that delicious, in this case, citrusy smell. And this is something I did a lot while studying for grad school. I found it helpful to have a nice relaxing scent as part of my environment, along with my music that I would listen to and things like that. So there you go. That's one way you can use it. Another option is if you want to get one of these essential oil diffusers. I got this one online, but again, you can find them in like drugstores and different places. But all you do here, so I've already got some water in here, and um, similar to with our necklace, you're just going to add a couple of drops to this water. You really don't need more than 2 or 3. This lavender oil is running out. Okay, woo, there we go. Lavender might be my favorite essential oil. That's probably why I have the least of it. And then all you do is you plug this in, and it will gradually release the scented water into the air and make your room smell like whatever essential oil you put in there. So that is another option. Some more ways that you can use these. People who have watched this stream before will know that I am a fan of taking a fancy bath as a way to relax. So if you've got some Epsom salts or some bubble bath or anything that you add to the bath, you can drop your essential oils, just a couple of drops into that, and then your bath will smell nice. You can put the essential oils just directly into the water, but oil and water obviously don't mix. And so when you do that, you'll end up usually just with the kind of a film of the essential oil on top of the water, and it doesn't really diffuse into the bathtub the way that it does when you mix it with something else. So the best way that I found to do that is to mix it with something else you're already adding to the bath. If you're a fan of bath bombs and that sort of thing, essential oils are usually what's giving those their scent. Other things you can do, if you're more of a shower person, not as big a fan of baths, this is something I've tried and enjoyed recently, is taking one of your essential oil bottles and just like splattering a couple of drops on the shower walls. It seems kind of insane, but then when you do it, the the hot water from the shower, assuming you're like me and you take like a volcanic shower, but even a normal temperature shower, will cause the essential oils to steam up, and it will release that yummy smell, and you'll have a nice, delicious scented shower. Don't eat your shower. Word of caution. Let's see, I have two more suggestions listed here. Again, if you've watched this program before, you will know that we did a make your own perfume program a while back. Maybe one wasn't that long ago. But anyway, what we used to make our own perfume was water and essential oils. So for that activity, we had multiple essential oils that we mixed together to make your own unique scent. You can also just say, like, I really want to smell like roses today, and take, some water in a spray bottle and a couple drops of essential oil, spray that on you, and bam, now you smell amazing. You're ready for your hot date, or just to hang around the house and smell like roses. Whatever it is that you want to do. So yeah, perfume yourself, that's another option. And then I have not tried this one, but I totally want to. Something that I've seen suggested is that you add some of your essential oil to your dryer sheets, and then when you dry your clothes, they will all come out smelling like whatever amazing scent you put in there. So yeah, that's our beginner's guide to essential oils. Now the rest of this stream, I'm gonna have essential oil smells around me, which, worst problems to have, for sure. In fact, I wouldn't even consider it a problem. I'm a fan. Alright, so our next activity for the day is on the back side of our first activity, because that's how I printed it. So this was something I found when I was Googling around for self-care ideas, and this is a template. The template is included in the packet if you're interested in it. Once again, you can follow that link that's in the bottom right corner to get to this packet, as well as the packets for all the other weeks, all the other months of Self-Care Sunday. And we've been doing Self-Care Sunday for almost a year, folks, so there's a lot of content there if you want to check it out, including directions on how to make your own perfume if that's something that interests you. So I really like this template. It's aesthetically pleasing, but more than that, I like the premise of it. So it's called a brain dump, and it's got categories here: to-do list, worries/stresses, and then there's information here to put more information about specific stressors. And what drew me in about this is that this is something that I've just organically done in my life. Usually with my to-do list, I will make a list where I just dump everything that I'm thinking about, everything that I could possibly do that day, into one big list. And then, actually, I'll do a little demonstration of another technique that I like to use once we have finished the brain dump portion. But the idea here is just to write down absolutely everything and anything that is on your mind as a way of getting it out of your head onto the paper, helping you worry less about it. So here we go. My to-do list for today includes running the Roomba. I've got my fun pen here today because I just recently bought this pen in a fun purple color, and I always like to have a fun pen for self-care activities if I can. I need to unload the dishwasher. I can't spell. I just started writing dishwasher instead of unload the dishwasher. What else? See, now I've forgotten because I've gone off on a train of thought, but we'll keep adding things to the list as we go here. What else do I need to do? I need to clean wax off the candles that I made, because there are wax strippings all down the side of them. I'm gonna make a chickpea salad, hopefully at some point soon. I like to paint my nails on my to-do list, even though it seems like kind of a frivolous thing. It's nice to have something sort of fun on your to-do list, so that as you're working through it, you can go, okay, I'm gonna kind of give myself a break, but also, while I'm taking that break, do something that is quote unquote productive, that is on the to do list. So, painting my nails is one that I find that's good for that, or uh, practicing my violin, or doing a little bit of singing, because I'm like, oh, I'm practicing music. That's like, I'll put yoga on my to do list. In fact, let's put some yoga on this list right now. Okay. Worries and stresses. What am I worried and stressed about? Lots of things, probably. Let's see. I'm going to put the world reopening after COVID is a somewhat stressful experience. What else is? Doing well on this stream. We're getting meta here. Let's see. I've got a wedding coming up. I'm sure there are things related to my wedding. Let's see. I'm just going to put wedding invitations as shorthand for addressing and mailing all of my wedding invitations, which is a thing I have to do. I guess I'll put that on my to-do list as well. See, what's nice about this template is it lets you jump back and forth kind of as things pop into your head. You think, oh, what am I worried about? What am I stressed about? Sweating all the time. It doesn't seem like a real stressor, but it is. It's so hot all of a sudden. I'm constantly sweaty, and I don't like it. It gives me stress. I'm like, oh no, I'm sweating through everything I'm wearing. This is terrible. And you can go on like this pretty much as long as you want. I sometimes make to-do lists that take up a whole page. I'm sure I could think of a million more things to put on my worries and stress list, but I don't want to stress all of you out with all of my worries and stresses. Haha. Okay, just go with me on this. Okay, so the thing I wanted to show you about the to-do list, this is a technique from Sarah Knight's series of self-help books, which, if you're like me, you hear self-help book and you're a little like, I don't know about that, sounds corny. But Sarah Knight is often called an anti-guru because her self-help books are very, like, the opposite of what you would expect from a self-help book. There's a lot of cursing. Heads up, there are swear words in the titles of all of her books, which is why I'm not mentioning the titles of any of her books. But they are generally helpful. So this technique is from Get Your Life Together. It's not called Get Your Life Together. Get Your Stuff Together? I don't know. But I really like it. The idea is you make a list like this, a brain dump list of everything that you can possibly think of that you have to do. And then you make a second version of the list where you assign everything a due date. So some things are like, okay, like I need to mail my wedding invitations by, I don't remember what date exactly, but I'll just put the last day of the month. July? We're in June. June has 31 days, right? Sure. So I'm just going to put dates next to all of these. Unload the dishwasher. See, that doesn't really have a due date, but I'm going to give it tomorrow as a due date. You can put in artificial one, so what's today's date? The 14th. I want to run the Roomba today because the floor really needs a good vacuuming. Cleaning wax off of the candles is lower priority. That doesn't really have to happen until September. Chickpea salad. I'm gonna say Tuesday is when I want to have that done by. Painting my nails doesn't really have a to-do time either, but I'm just gonna assign that to tomorrow. And yoga, just putting whenever, because yoga is whenever, wherever. So based on these dates that I have now, I can rewrite this list in order. I'll do a quick short version of that. Just put like Roomba, nails, dishwasher. And then once you've put all your items in order, you make that day's to-do list out of basically the top like 2 or 3 items. So what this does and why I like it is it helps you to really prioritize like what you need to get done soonest. And so this way you spend your time taking care of whatever is the most urgent, whatever is, the most important to get done first. And that leads to less stress in your life overall because you don't, spend the whole day working on something that you don't really need to work on for a couple of months, and then the thing that's due tomorrow isn't finished. Like, it seems very obvious, like, obviously, do the things that are due first, but, some things, like, I was going through here, like, they don't have an assigned date that they really need to be due. If you're talking about homework or something, obviously, there's a little more of, like, external due dates on stuff. But yeah, I really like this method of coming up with a daily to-do list because you end up with something that's very achievable, is only a few items long, and then the next day, like the next 3 items on this to-do list will become my to-do list for tomorrow. And you can just keep doing that and adding items and reorganizing the list as needed. It might be helpful also if you're making a list like this to do it on a computer because it's easier to add and delete stuff and move stuff around, but I like getting my to-do lists on paper. That's just how I roll. I'm curious about this moron-specific triggers section. I have never attempted this part of one of these brain dumps before, but it does seem like a potentially rich grounds for, adding some more detail to, thinking about what's stressing you out and why. Like I put, the sort of vague wedding invitations on here, but specifically, I need my friend who's designing them to send me the packet to send to the printers, and then I need to send it to the printer, and, get samples, and so on. So I could break this down into much more specific things that I'm worried about. These are sort of logistical things, but you could also put, emotional things, get more specific, and like, this is causing me anxiety versus stress, which to me the difference is sort of, I mean, other people might disagree with me, but to me stress is related to a specific thing. Like you might be stressed about a final exam, whereas anxiety is a little more free-floating or connected to something that's a little less concrete, like I might embarrass myself during the final exam, for example, as opposed to like stress is like, oh, I only have so much time to study and I need to study a lot or whatever. But, that's not like a scientific explanation or anything, that's just how I define it. But nailing down really specifically, how does this make you feel? That could be a really good potential use for this field as well. So this is just a possible resource out there for you. We've done some journaling and list making type activities here before, and I just thought that this was a good kind of a structured way to worry about stuff, giving you, just a framework for thinking about things that are stressing you out, things that you need to get done, giving you a way to perhaps reorganize your to-do list to be a little more useful, and yeah, like I said, just putting things on paper sometimes can be incredibly helpful. That's why journaling is such an often suggested self-care activity. So alright, that's our brain dump. And then for our final section today, I decided to do something that I've been thinking about doing for this stream for a while, which is some puzzles. Specifically here, as you can see, I've got a word search going. So the thing that I thought about a lot with puzzles and that I think is worth keeping in mind is that you want to choose puzzles that are going to be like fun for you. And what I mean is like there's a level of challenge that makes something fun and intriguing and that makes a puzzle really work as self-care, right? Because your brain is really focused on, solving the puzzle, and it can be a good worthwhile way of getting your mind off of, something that's causing you anxiety or stress. Um, it can be a good mental break, but you don't want to choose a puzzle that's going to be too difficult for you and going to end up causing more stress than stress relief. So, for example, I thought about doing a Sudoku for this, and then I remembered that I'm not very good at Sudoku, and not that you shouldn't do things you're not good at, because on this channel, I always encourage people to do things they love whether they're good at them or not. I've done drawing on this stream before, and drawing is definitely not my best skill. But the thing is, I usually find Sudokus really stressful because they're so difficult for me. I also looked into doing cryptograms, and I found that I was very determined to prove something to myself with the cryptograms. If you don't know, those are puzzles that replace one letter with another, and so you're sort of breaking a code. But I did a test one of those for this channel, and I found myself getting really competitive with myself in a way that wasn't super helpful. Um, so, it's worth reflecting on your own self-care practices to think about what, whether things are really helping you or, sometimes you feel like something should be helpful to you and then it isn't. And, on this channel, we're all about doing what is genuinely helpful to you. So I chose a word search because word searches, for me, are a good balance between, they're not, they take up enough brain space that they provide that good mental break, but they're also not so difficult or, emotional for me that I'm gonna, run into issues. So I like to use a highlighter for my word searches because I think it looks cool. It's a little, neater, I guess, than circling them. Not that we need to necessarily be neat when we're doing self-care, because you know what? Sometimes self-care can be very messy. For example, I made some candles recently, and I've been cleaning up wax in my kitchen for a week. But, that's the price you pay for delicious smelling candles. I keep saying delicious to describe smells, and to be honest with you, I am a little worried that I'm starting to sound like someone who just eats candles and things that you should not eat. But yeah, this crosswords are another one where I'm I find crosswords more stressful than relaxing. I do like jigsaw puzzles. I do those sometimes to relax. Anyway, what was I saying before that? Oh, so this is from thewordsearch.com, which gives you the option of doing these virtually as well if you'd rather not print out a sheet of paper. You can do it in a more environmentally friendly way, or just, if you prefer to do your word searches digitally, they have that option as well. And they have a bunch of super fun themes I've found. This one is ice cream flavors, which I love. Because how often do you get to do an ice cream flavored word search? The answer is not often enough. My pro tip for doing word searches is to always look for the smallest words first, because those are the hardest to find. A lot of times while you're looking for the smaller words, you'll find the bigger ones. So there you go. That's a pro tip from me to you. But yeah, there's something about doing this physically, like printed out, that appeals to me. Part of it is, I spend so much of my life, as do all of us, especially lately, on screens. So it's kind of nice to look at something that's not a screen. It's also kind of in the way that coloring is kind of nice to just do something physical that's very simple and repeatable, like highlighting words as you find them in a word search. So you can find this word search and a couple of other ones that had themes I thought were fun in the Self-Care Sunday packet, which, once again, I'm sounding like a broken record here, but as people join the stream, I want to let them know that the link in the bottom right corner, that URL, will take you to the Self-Care Sunday packet for this Sunday and every Sunday we've ever done this. So if you're thinking to yourself, I need some ideas for self-care, some resources, where can I find such a thing? One place that you can look is in that Self-Care Sunday Google Drive packet. Google Drive packet? It's a Google Drive folder that's got all the packets in it, is what it is. Also, I really want to know what Hokey Pokey ice cream flavor is. I have never eaten that. I don't know what it is. I don't know what Hokey Pokey consists of, other than obviously turning yourself about, and that's what it's all about, etc. But yeah, I've never tried that flavor. I'm curious. Or Triple Tornado, for that matter. There's a couple of flavors in here. I'm like, what? I've never heard of that. The world is a rich tapestry, full of ice cream flavors I have never tried. Perhaps someday I will get to try Triple Tornado. And what was the other one I said? I didn't know what it was. Hokey Pokey. It's a fun name for an ice cream, though. Like, if someone was like, do you want some Hokey Pokey ice cream? I'd be like, yes. Obviously. Okay, that is the last one. I have found them all, everyone. Success. So, that concludes Self-Care Sunday for today. We're ending a little early, but that's alright. I hope you'll join us again next Self-Care Sunday. It'll be the second Sunday of the month, because we always do Self-Care Sunday on the second Sunday of the month, unless I note otherwise. So join us here on the second Sunday in July, which is, let me check here, July 11th will be our next Self-Care Sunday. You can also join us on this channel on Saturday nights at 7 p.m. We'll have either a movie streaming, or we'll have our game nights where we play some games together as a group, and anyone can join that. Anyone can join either of those things, and we would love to have you. So thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you back at this channel in the future.